Last time, we visited Brian and Rachel to find out about their fears and challenges heading into their first season of mating using CowManager's monitoring system. Let's catch up with Jared at Greenleaf Pastures and get his thoughts on episode 2 of Mating with CowManager.
It's been 7 weeks since we were last year catching up with Brian and Rachel as they are leading into mating. They had some concerns at the earlier stages, so we're going to have a catch up today and see if they've made any changes at all.
So you made references to changes that you're going to make in your system. How have you found those changes?
They've been going quite well. The biggest change was probably relying on the technology a lot more than the tailbone on the cows, which I thought would probably be about 50-50 to begin with. But early on we found that the technology is far more accurate than what we were. And then the next biggest change was having no bulls on farm and going all AB all the way through. And our biggest fears was in the past our biggest fears has been doing that, but then potentially just not being on the ball one day and missing some cows or not being as accurate. There's not as much activity happening in the paddocks, but now with CowManager we're quite comfortable with it.
October was quite a busy month in farming for us, with like maize and me doing the AB run and stuff, and then we hosted an event here. And we really found, like looking back now, we're like, man, it just freed up so much time. We'd literally go out in the afternoon, we'd look at the cows, the list of cows on the app, and we'd just draft on the race based on that. Whereas previously, other years, we'd look in the morning, who's on heat, sort of during milking, write it down, maybe even sort of midday before the cows are going to walk to the shed, we'll get another list like out of the paddock or something like that. And kind of, so we've got an idea of the cows before they're coming to the shed. Whereas this year, we just look on the phone, oh yep, there's this many, they're at X amount of hours, so yeah, we might inseminate before milking, or we might do it after milking so that they're a little bit later in the window. And then we've just, saved a lot of time through their day, in our day, and achieved a lot more on farm.
Brian, I know you're a numbers man, and everything's got to be calculated on farm. So how much labour have you saved, or time and money, do you think you've saved over this first 7 weeks of mating, really?
I think you're wrong there, Jared, for a change, because that's one calculation I haven't done. We did a whole partial budget on the breakdown of the cost of CowManager and the subscription, what it will cost yearly, and then we worked out what costs we could save where in our business and potentially what value it could add, because we wanted to use this technology to add value to the business. But I didn't actually bring into the financial side, we didn't bring in any labour saving costs, because technically we're not actually paying labour on farm. Like, we don't have people on timesheets or anything, so it was a bit hard to do that. And we also didn't want to generate false economy from that, to be like, oh, we're going to save X amount of time and then this is going to be the best investment ever. But looking back at it now, if we did, and the past 7 weeks we've saved an incredible amount of time, probably at least it'll be 40 minutes a day more time we'll probably invest into mating, and then also
the first 4 weeks probably closer to an hour,
especially when we're doing nominated semen, because you'd have to kind of look at that cow, okay, she's on, we want to put her to this bull or something, whereas now we wake up in the morning and someone seems to tell me how many cows are on heat, so you kind of know what you're in for, you know what girls are on, and you can just make that plan any time of day. And
when I'm eating breakfast, I just pull out my phone and I'll just write down, oh yeah, this cow looks like this and I want to put her to this and this, and then we've already got a game plan but by the time we go outside in the afternoon.
Yeah, to take that labour saving to the next level will be just a drafting gate, so just keep milking speed up. We'll try to work on 5 minutes a row, so yeah, just get them done, get them out, and then in the milking nibble with the cow standing there will be pretty awesome, so that's probably something else to look at in the future.
So I was here and I was pretty disgusted with the colours over the back of the cows. How have you found it? How accurate is it compared to what you guys have been in the past?
Yeah, so it's been very insightful for Brian and I. At the start, I think possibly we didn't put full faith into CowManager right at the start. We had a couple So we were getting cows on and they had full tail paint, and we were like, okay, it says they're on, we'll put them up. But then when we hit sort of 2 weeks to 3 weeks, we were getting cows like that 10-day return or even the 3-week, 21-day return. And Brian and I were like, nah, I think there might have been about 5 cows. No, she's got full tail paint, surely not. We don't want to affect any potential pregnancy, and we've shot ourselves in the foot there. Didn't inseminate them, and then 3 weeks later again.
Yeah, because like some of those cows weren't the typical 21 days, or maybe like around that 25, 26 or something, and we'll be like, oh, it's not quite the typical. There was 1 or 2 cases like that, but then from that date they returned 21 days later, so we're like,
well, we've lost another 3 weeks there.
Yeah.
And then also during the first 3 weeks, we counted about 9 cows that had full tail paint that we, first sort of insemination, we mated, and I think a couple of them have returned, but we would assume the others are pregnant. And so that's 9 cows that we would have otherwise not seen, and for our size herd that's 3%. So,
and when we also inseminated them, you could see a bit of mucusy discharge when we're inseminating, so we're kind of like on day 3, okay,
this thing's onto something.
put a little 10% more faith into it there, type of thing. Take another 5% away from Jared.
Perfect.
So, things are going really well for Brian and Rachel. Jared is excited to see the numbers at the end of their mating season. Let's see how everything goes on the next episode of Mating with CowManager. Until then, head over to cowmanager.com to find out how CowManager can help your herd.